Have you ever wondered why some people experience rapid breakthroughs in their careers, lives, or finances, while most of us just keep struggling and staying stuck? The simple yet profound answer is you need to change your mindset. That's right. Before you seek more skills, more opportunities, or invest more, the very first thing you need to do is reset your mindset. Refresh the way you think. Because your pace of development isn't about what you do, but about how you think about what you do. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they are trapped by limitations created by their own mindset. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to hit the like button to support us and help many others also have the chance to change their mindset and develop faster. In this video, I'll explore with you why resetting your mindset is the first and most crucial step to breaking through and developing quickly. And more importantly, how you can do it starting today. If you genuinely want to change your game, prepare to broaden your perspective, break mental barriers, and build an entirely new mindset. Let's begin. Before you can reset your mindset, you need to clearly understand what exactly is a mindset and why is it so important. Mindset, or way of thinking, is essentially the operating system of your brain. It's how you perceive yourself, others, and the world around you. To simplify, imagine this. If life is a car, then your mindset is the steering wheel. You might have a powerful engine and a full tank, but if the steering wheel is misaligned, you'll never go in the right direction. You might even crash into a wall. There are two common types of mindsets that psychologist Carol Dweck calls fixed mindset. Growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are predetermined. They believe they were born a certain way, talented or not, intelligent or not. It's destiny. The result? They avoid challenges. They fear failure. They hate being criticized. And they easily give up when things get tough. What about people with a growth mindset? They believe that abilities can be developed through learning, effort, and practice. For them, failure isn't the end. It's a stepping stone for learning and growth. Let me tell you a story. There was a young African-American boy born in a poor neighborhood in Chicago. His family had nothing but love. In school, his teachers once told him, "You're not smart enough for college." But instead of believing that, he chose to believe in himself. He studied day and night, worked various jobs to earn money, and eventually became one of the world's leading scientists. That person is Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the renowned astrophysicist. See, the difference isn't in the circumstances, but in how we think about those circumstances. A mindset isn't something you're born with. It's something you can choose, cultivate, and build. And when you choose the right mindset, a growth mindset, you'll unlock a pace of growth you previously thought impossible. Let's pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I truly thinking like someone who wants to develop fast? Or am I being held back by my old mindset? Here are 5 clear signs that you need to reset your mindset immediately if you want to break through faster and stronger on your development journey. 1. You're so afraid of failure that you don't dare to start. If every time you have a new idea you think, what if I mess up? If I fail? People will laugh at me. Then I'm sorry to say, you're letting fear control the steering wheel of your life. Remember, failure doesn't kill dreams. The fear of failure does. 2, you believe, I'm not good at this, and I never will be. This is a very common form of self-limitation. Do you think you can't learn new skills because you were born without talent? Do you believe you can't speak in public, can't be a leader, can't learn coding because you're not that type of person? Believe me, this is the most vivid definition of a fixed mindset. 3. You avoid challenges and always choose the easy path. Whenever there's a difficult task, you think, I'll do this later. I'm not sure I'm ready. Choosing the easy path makes life easier. But the easy path never leads you to a great destination. Rapid growth requires friction, pressure, and engagement with challenges. 4. You give up easily after a few failures. Have you ever tried to lose weight, learn to invest, build a YouTube channel, start a business, but quit halfway because it didn't work for me? The reality is, it didn't work because your mindset retreated sooner than your actions. Successful people aren't better than you. They are just more persistent after the 5th, 10th, and 50th failure. You feel uncomfortable when others succeed more than you. This is a subtle but extremely important signal. If you feel jealous or start to put others down to feel better about yourself, then your mindset is operating in a scarcity zone. A growth mindset always views others' success as proof that I can achieve that too. If you just nodded to any of the signs above, then congratulations, you just got an opportunity to change your life, because realizing you're stuck in an old mindset is the first step to steering and accelerating on your personal development path. Now you know what a mindset is. You also recognize your own signs. The next question is, how do you change? How do you reset your entire mindset? You don't need a miracle. You just need a system, a practical roadmap. And here are 5 steps to reset your mindset that have helped millions of people change their lives, starting from within. Step 1. Reframe the core questions you usually ask yourself. Instead of asking, why is everything so hard for me? Ask, how can I learn this faster? Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, how much will I regret it if I don't try? The questions you ask yourself every day are what shape your mindset. To change your mindset, change the type of questions you ask. Step 2. Rewrite your belief map. Grab a pen and paper and write down what you believe about yourself. I'm not good at public speaking. I don't have a business mind. I always lack discipline. Now rewrite them into a growth-oriented version. I am practicing my public speaking skills every day. I am learning how to understand the market and serve customers. I am building discipline like a muscle. No belief is permanent unless you keep nurturing it. Step 3. Surround yourself with a growth-oriented environment. Let's be frank. If you keep dwelling in an environment of complaining, blaming, negativity, if you listen to fear-mongering news, read critical comments, talk to people who always say, it's impossible, then you are breathing air that poisons you. Conversely, try to connect with positive-minded people, watch inspiring content, join groups and communities with development goals, read books, listen to podcasts that help you push your limits. A mindset doesn't grow in a toxic environment. It needs light. It needs nourishment. Step 4. Redefine your relationship with failure. Listen carefully to this. Failure is not the end. It's proof you're playing big. From now on, every time you fail, tell yourself, good, I just found one way that doesn't work. On to the next way. Every mistake is a brick building the foundation of growth. The more you accept failure as an inevitable part, the faster you'll grow. Fear of failure equals slow growth. Welcoming failure equals accelerating. Step 5. Create a mindset ritual, a daily mindset practice. Don't let your mindset be something that happens randomly. Actively reset your mindset every morning. For example, write down 3 things you're grateful for in the morning and review your big goals every day. Tell yourself an inspiring quote like, "Today, I am better than yesterday. I can learn anything if I persist long enough." Your mindset doesn't reset once. It needs to be refreshed daily, like brushing your brain. You can't grow fast if your mindset is still running on an old, fearful, limited operating system. But you can reset, rebuild, and reinvent yourself, starting today. And you deserve that. Howard Schultz was born in a housing project in Brooklyn, New York. His father, a truck driver, had a work accident when Howard was only 7 years old. With no insurance, no pension, the family fell into despair. And from then on, Howard promised himself, "One day I will create a company where employees are treated with dignity." But that path was far from smooth. In 1981, Howard walked into a small store called Starbucks, which sold coffee beans. He wasn't drawn in by the product, but by the culture. Immediately, he wanted to transform Starbucks into an Italian-style coffee experience where people connect, emotions are stirred, and customers are valued. But the board of directors objected. They just wanted to sell raw coffee. At that point, most people would have stopped, but Howard didn't. He reset his mindset. "If they don't believe in my vision, I will build that vision with my own hands." And so he gave up his secure position, bravely started his own company, Il Giornale. A few years later, he bought Starbucks and transformed it into what we know today. An empire of over 30,000 stores, with employee benefits policies and a brand culture based on people, not just products. What does this story tell us? Howard Schultz didn't succeed because he had special circumstances. He succeeded because he saw the world differently, because he dared to reframe questions, dared to defy doubt, dared to rewrite the script of his own life. His mindset wasn't "how do I sell coffee," but rather "how do I build a place where people feel connected?" And when the mindset changes, everything changes. Voice slows down like a message. So what about you? Are you living according to someone else's script? Or are you ready to reset yourself to write an entirely new chapter? You know what? There's a very common problem nowadays that few people dare to admit. Many people believe they have a growth mindset, but in reality, it's just an illusion. They read self-help books, listen to podcasts, watch motivational videos every day. But their behavior, decisions, and reactions still stem from a fixed mindset. Here are the 4 most common mistakes that make you think you've reset your mindset while you're still spinning in your old self. Mistake 1. I listen to feedback, but only when it's easy to hear. Many people think they're open to feedback, but only if it's praise or gentle opinions. As soon as someone speaks frankly, they feel attacked. They justify, resist, or stay silent and withdraw. Someone with a true growth mindset seeks feedback, especially the hardest to hear feedback. They don't ask, "Who's right?" They ask, "What can I learn from this?" Mistake 2. I tried already, but saw no results. This is an extremely dangerous phrase. "I tried already" is the whisper of procrastination cloaked in the guise of action. A growth mindset doesn't ask, "Have I tried?" but asks, "What did I learn from that attempt? And how can I do it better next time?" Mistake 3. I want to learn, but only things I find easy to access. They are willing to learn skills they find interesting. But when it comes to learning difficult or unfamiliar skills, financial skills, communication skills, emotional management, etc., they avoid them. A growth mindset doesn't choose to learn what's interesting. It chooses to learn what's necessary. Sometimes, what you dread the most is precisely the skill that will change your life. Mistake 4. I accept failure, but only if it's early and gentle. Many people say they're not afraid of failure, but that's small, comfortable failure that doesn't affect their self-esteem. But when faced with painful stumbles, losing money, losing face, losing motivation, they crumble. A growth mindset doesn't just accept failure. It also knows how to play big, enough to fail big, and to rise from that like a warrior. You see, sometimes complacency itself is the biggest enemy of growth. Thinking you've opened your mind, but in reality you're just boxing your thoughts into a new box, labeled growth mindset. Be truly honest with yourself. If even 1% of the old mindset is still controlling you, then the mindset reset isn't complete. And the amazing thing is, you can absolutely choose again, start over, and grow again anytime. You can read dozens of books, listen to hundreds of podcasts, watch thousands of videos. But if you don't act, everything will remain just on paper. A growth mindset isn't inspiration. It's practice. It's a habit. It's repetitive behavior every single day. Here are 3 simple but extremely powerful habits you can start today to live true to a growth mindset. Habit 1. Journal. 3 things I learned today. At the end of each day, take 3 minutes to write down 1 thing you learned from work, 1 thing you learned from others, 1 thing you learned from yourself, emotions, mistakes, actions. A growth mindset doesn't come from vast knowledge. It comes from the ability to learn continuously, even from the smallest things. The more you journal, the more you become aware that every day is a development investment with profit, and you are growing, not just surviving. Habit 2. Ask an expanding question every morning. Every morning before starting your day, ask yourself a question that opens your mind. What am I excited about today? How will I react if I encounter an obstacle? What will I learn if today doesn't go as planned? Don't start your day with negative news. Start with positive questions to reprogram your mind. Your mind is reset every morning, like a computer restarting. So which software do you want to install? Worry or motivation? Habit 3. Upgraded version. Choose 1 action you will do differently than yesterday. Every day, just pick 1 single thing to do better, faster, or more accurately than yesterday. For example, yesterday, you procrastinated on an assignment. Today, complete it before 9 a.m. Yesterday, you reacted negatively to someone. Today, you listen before responding. Yesterday, you just scrolled social media. Today, read 5 pages of a book before opening your phone. Success doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from continuous upgraded steps, a little bit every day. And every different action is living proof that you are truly living with a growth mindset. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. 1 line learned every day. 1 question every morning. 1 action every day, better than yesterday. You won't recognize yourself in just 90 days because you'll no longer be living by your old mindset. You'll be building an entirely new self. Imagine you wake up in the morning with inner strength instead of anxiety. You actively choose your reactions instead of being controlled by emotion. You no longer need external validation because you know you're progressing every day. That is the life of someone with a true growth mindset. You no longer fear failure because you understand failure is not a sentence, but a map. You learn what others fear. You try faster, learn faster, recover faster. While they're calculating, you've already started. While they're still waiting for perfection, you've already evolved. You no longer need to wait for motivation because you understand action leads to emotion, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel confident, you start first. You don't wait for the ideal time, you create it. A growth mindset helps you take control of the cycle, no longer passively swept along. You become a magnet for growth to others. When you live with a growth mindset, your energy changes. Others feel it. You inspire instead of complain. You seek solutions instead of blaming. You listen to understand instead of listening to refute. And gradually, you attract people on the same frequency. You're not just changing yourself, you're upgrading your entire ecosystem around you. And then one day, you look back at yourself from 6 months ago, 1 year ago, and you almost don't recognize that person anymore. Not because you achieved something monumental, but because you have become a person with true inner strength from within. A growth mindset doesn't make your life easier. It makes you stronger. And when you are stronger, nothing is impossible. You won't always be strong. No one can maintain a positive mindset 100% of the time. There will be days when you feel not good enough, not making progress, no longer hopeful. And that's okay. In fact, those moments are the true test of a growth mindset. When you fall into negativity, here's the first thing to remember. Don't try to make yourself happy immediately. Don't try to force yourself to be positive because that's just a mask. Instead, do these 3 simple things to reset your mindset in a realistic and effective way. 1. Write down 3 things you're thinking without judgment. Grab a pen and paper and write, how am I feeling? What am I worried about? What am I telling myself? When you write it down, you detach yourself from the emotion. Negative thinking is often strongest when it only exists in your head. Writing it down is the first step to regaining control. 2. Find factual data instead of believing your emotions. You think you're not making progress? Open your journal, old photos, projects you've completed. You'll see you've overcome a lot, and you will continue to overcome. Negative emotions are clouds. Factual data is the earth. You need to land. 3. Take a 1 millimeter action. Do one very small thing immediately. No need to do something big. Just do one thing. Very small, but growth-oriented. Drink a glass of water. Walk for 5 minutes. Write down one goal. Or simply tidy up your desk. Motivation doesn't come from emotion. It comes from action. You can't wait for calm waters to set sail. You have to row out into the storm, and then the sea will calm. You will have days when you fall, but you don't stay there. You get up by writing, remembering, and acting. That's how people with a true growth mindset reboot again and again. And believe me, you can do it too. You are striving to grow, trying every day. But you might be held back without realizing it. Not because you're not good enough, but because your environment and habits are destroying your growth mindset little by little. Here are 3 common but extremely dangerous things you need to stop immediately if you truly want to grow. 1. Blindly comparing yourself to others. Nothing is worse than opening social media and seeing someone else is more successful, someone else is more skilled, someone else is much further along than you.
And then you start doubting your self-worth, wondering, what am I doing with my life? A growth mindset doesn't thrive in an environment of unconscious competition. It thrives in an environment of comparing yourself to yourself. Every day, ask, am I better than my yesterday's self? That's the only metric you should keep. 2. Labeling yourself. I'm a procrastinator. I'm not good with technology. I can never be patient for long. Sound familiar? That's not personality. Those are psychological labels, and they're nailing you into that old box. A growth mindset begins when you peel off each of those labels. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, I'm not good at this yet, but I'm learning. 3. Surrounding yourself with negative people. A small sarcastic remark, a comment like, oh, don't even try. A dismissive look when you talk about your dreams. All of these are like tiny drops of poison dripping into your growth mindset every day. You don't need to cut anyone off entirely, but you need to learn to be selective about the energy around you. If you want to grow, be around people who are also growing. Even if it's just through books, podcasts, videos, like the one you're watching now. You don't need a revolution. You just need to start eliminating things one by one. Blind comparison, negative labeling, being surrounded by criticism. Your growth mindset is a flame. Protect it from toxic winds every day. Remember one thing, rapid growth doesn't come from luck. It doesn't come from someone granting it to you. It comes from your decision, right now. You can sit there and wait for opportunities, or you can stand up and create opportunities. You already know what a growth mindset is, why it's important, and how to practice it every day. You also know how to reset when you face difficulties, and you've identified the silent enemies holding you back. Now is the time to stop thinking, stop procrastinating, the action you need to take right now. Write down a specific goal you want to develop in the next 30 days. Choose a small habit to start practicing a growth mindset every day. Commit to yourself. No matter how difficult, you will not give up. You don't have to do anything too grand right away. Just take one small step, but that step must be in the right direction. And finally, I want you to remember, anyone can grow fast if they dare to change their mindset, dare to act, and dare to persist. You too. I believe in you.
And I will always be here, accompanying you on this journey. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Comment below to share your goals and how you'll start resetting your mindset. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming inspiring content. The time to grow is today. Are you ready? Start your transformation journey now.